Oh my god, chills. To become an Ironman, it's unreal what these athletes go through. It's more than a sport. It's constant discipline. It's hours and hours of training. It's pain, it's setbacks, it's a mental battle. You see all these athletes crossing the finish line, but what you don't see is it's an iceberg. This sport, everything, it's an iceberg. The race is what you see above, but if you dive deep underneath the sea level, you see training, nutrition, recovery, community, failure, mindset, teamwork. There's so much more than just a swim, a cycle, and a run. That was so exhausting. Hi, my name's Seibold. I'm 21 years old and I'm competing in the 2026 Ironman 70.3 in Alcudia, Mallorca. A little bit about me is that I've been doing sports my entire life. From a young age, hiking, gymnastics, swimming, volleyball, field hockey, netball, so many different sports, but what I've never done is triathlon. This Mallorca Ironman has somewhat become a tradition in my family. In 2024, my brother Nick decided that he was going to take part along with a friend. The whole week was an incredible experience. All of Nick's friends and our family were there and we were absolutely stoked to support the two. So on race day, we all woke up for the early start, packed our things and headed over to the swim. The energy was electric. Athletes, supporters, event crew, it was like nothing I'd ever felt. A buzz with a sense of nerves hanging in the air. The 7 of us took our spots along the water, signs ready, heart racing. I can't even imagine what Nick was feeling at this moment in time. And then, the legendary Viking clap. It's a clap that signifies the start of the race. It fires up the blood in your veins. It sends shivers down your spine. The horn erupts and it's like a human tidal wave. Athletes charge into the water and start their race. The crowd is chanting, screaming, clapping, bells are ringing. It's awesome. The whole day was like a video game. We were tracking the boys through the app, calculating when we need to be where, driving across the whole island and sprinting from one transition zone to the next. During the cycle, we found the perfect spot to wait for Nick. We choreographed a little dance chant and literally spent about 30 minutes jumping our butts off. The other cyclists gave us a smile, a wave. You guys rock as they sped past. We even made it into the official Ironman Rewind video. For the run, we rushed back to the beach, and because of the loop, we got a good few moments to cheer on the boys. We were definitely taking our roles as support crew pretty seriously, and not just for Nick and his friend. Oh, we were going off.
Oh, with the power! Nice one, Florian! Come on, Nicholas!
Shouting motivation to anyone and everyone, reading the race bibs and chanting strangers' names as they passed. It was fun because like we were seeing the boys over and over again, we started to recognize other runners, other faces as they passed us repeatedly. And like the magic which comes with the sport, we were rooting for them and got excited to see them again. If that doesn't prove absolute community, I don't know what will. So by the time Nick crossed that finish line, adrenaline pumping through his system, I was proud beyond words. His achievement fantastic and the weeks of effort shining through. The whole team was positively charged, absolutely high on life. The following year in 2025, I was travelling in Australia when my family returned to Mallorca, but this time it was my dad and 2 of Nick's friends who were competing. I had been away from home for nearly 8 months by this point, and so far not once did I have the urge to cut my trip short and come home. Until then. Days before the race, I was chatting with my parents and I was battling with the thought if I should fly home early to support my dad. But I only had 2 months left of travelling, so I decided to stay. Because of the time difference, I stayed up all night tracking my dad on my phone, waiting for my mum's next update to hear something about how the race is going. And after a couple of hours, I finally got sent the video of my dad crossing the finish line. And I was bawling my eyes out. Tears were uncontrollably coming down my face. I thought, holy moly, my dad is an absolute legend. This video clip is intertwined with so much emotion. Every time I watch it, I get emotional.
Let's go! Martin! Yeah, man!
Congratulations, put a smile on. Seibold.
The way he ramps up the crowd for himself, goes straight to my mum for a kiss, and then crosses that finish line with his arms in the air. Legend. So whilst I was sitting in my dark hostel room in Sydney by myself, trying to keep my sobs really quiet not to wake up my roommate, Nick calls me and he says, "Hey, you want me to sign you up for next year?" And without hesitation, I said yes.
But I said that. Here we go.
I have something wrong with my lower legs. As soon as I run like 2 kilometers, my knees start hurting, my shins start hurting, my quads start hurting. There's something there and I need to...
For quite a few years, I've been dealing with medial tibial stress syndrome, which is also known as shin splints. It's basically a sharp pain along your shin bones, and it's caused from inflammation from tendons, tissues, muscles. It occurs from repetitive high-impact activity, which is why I'm pretty sure I got my injury through volleyball. A few years ago, I got sport insoles for my shoes to basically level out how my feet were standing, but after I got more and more into running, it was just way too much intensity on my shins, and even though I was putting gel on my shins and icing and heating and elevating my leg and taping up my legs, nothing worked and the pain was just not going away.
I just have something wrong with everything from my knee down to my feet. My shins, my quads, my ankles, my knees, everything just hurts. And my family bought this like regeneration, if that's what it's called, machine. Fingers crossed that this helps, because I don't want to have to go to a doctor or have it be more than it is, but I can't run faster than just really slow pace. So something's definitely wrong, and I really hope that this is going to be doing the trick.
I never found a solution. It got better, it got worse. I always told myself it's just gonna heal over time, but obviously me not giving it a break, it never healed. So now fast forward to me in Australia, I ended up signing up to the Sydney Half Marathon. I started a training plan, and all of these runs, like interval runs, tempo runs, hill runs, easy runs, they were all so new to me because I was the classic case of every run has to be a new PB. Like when I started running, and a few years back, I always wanted to be the fastest I could every single run, and that's obviously not the way to go. Because of the training plan, the training load was just so much and my body was not ready for it. I was literally lathering up my legs before and after every single run with Voltaren cream, just hoping that it would subside the pain, and it was not good. I was not being very sensible about my running. I did all the training, and a couple days before the race I actually ended up getting ill. But being the stubborn athlete I was, and kind of still am, I ended up racing, and although I had a stuffy nose, was sleep deprived, and my shins were hurting, I still competed. And honestly, the race actually, besides all of that, went pretty well. But what I noticed was that afterwards, I had more problems. So in the past, for me, in my experience, shin splints had just felt like kind of a sharp pain along the whole shin. Like it wasn't just one specific point. It was along the whole shin, and whenever I, for example, landed after jumping in volleyball or took a step when running, it was always on impact, like a certain sharp pain along the shin. However, by this point, the pain literally was excruciating. It felt like daggers were just being cut into my shin, mainly in the upper part of my shin up to my knee. And every step I took, it was just so painful. I really was trying to keep it together and trying to push through. The thing is, I would wake up the day after my run, take one step out of bed, and the pain was back. So I knew that it was different. Something was very, very wrong. No stretching, no cream, nothing was helping. So I decided to go to a doctor and ended up getting an MRI scan where they told me that I was this close to a stress fracture in my tibia. Okay, that's obviously not something you want to hear, especially as an athlete, and they actually ended up putting me in a boot, which probably was a good thing, even though I didn't have the stress fracture. They wanted to go through with the healing progress as if it was already fractured. Honestly, the next few months were extremely hard for me. I was completely out of sports. In the first few days, I wasn't even allowed to do yoga because it was too much strain on my leg. I mean, it was basically a fracture, so that makes sense. But it was hard on my mental state, especially. I was traveling with sporty friends, so I had to say no to a bunch of activities, which, being the kind of friend that usually is the first one to want to join in, it was hard. When I came home after traveling, I was still in my boot and summer was rolling up and it was getting harder and harder to say no to going on a run. The next curveball was also then thrown at me when I went to see a doctor at home, and he basically told me that my injury doesn't exist and that I wouldn't have had to be in a boot this whole time. And after that, I was so confused because first of all, I was thinking, okay, so I didn't need to be in a boot, all of this was for nothing. But then I was thinking back to the facts and I was thinking, okay, I don't know right now who exactly I'm supposed to trust, but what I know for sure is that back in Australia, that pain was real. It was nothing that I want to experience again, so I knew that my injury had to be legit somehow. After a few weeks, I got out of the boot and I slowly started to get back into running, a few different exercises, but honestly the pain wasn't really gone. And during this like time of uncertainty and just confusion, my family and my friends had signed up to so many races and sporting events, and I was always there to support them. I was their biggest fan, I was making signs, I was ready to do anything they needed on race day, and I was really enjoying it. But with every event, it got harder and harder and harder to like truly be okay with not being an athlete myself. Basically nothing was going to plan. I had to drop out of my marathon and my mental state was just going downhill, and I just could not wait for the day that I could be the one at the start of the race feeling the adrenaline of race day. I decided I needed to find a solution somehow, so I actually ended up undergoing shockwave therapy. So for those of you who don't know what it is, you can basically imagine a massage gun, just big, metal and powerful. First they put on a gel on my shin and then they get this machine, and when they turn it on, it sounds like electricity crackling. I'm not even kidding. It's like this loud, like this clicking sound. And basically what the doctor did is with every session, he tried to get closer and closer towards the like pain in the shin. I mostly had pain here, so he literally started like all the way along the sides and got closer and closer. Basically what shockwave therapy does, it stimulates the healing process, it reduces the inflammation, and it just increases the blood flow. I had about 8 sessions, and let me tell you, I have never undergone such a painful procedure. I would be lying there for the half an hour or about 45 minutes, just closing my eyes, biting my teeth together, trying to relax my legs, because that is obviously what you're supposed to do. But I was sweating lying there and I just could not wait for the procedure to be over. And after all of that, I can finally say that I'm shin splints free, and I've been doing normal training for a good few months. I haven't had any problems. Obviously I'm super cautious. If I feel anything, I try to stop right away, and I'm still learning on listening to my body, but I'm just extremely grateful to be done with all of those problems. So in summary, speaking from experience, I can say that if you have an injury, if you feel any type of twinge or tightness, and I know no athlete wants to hear this, but take the break. I definitely still fall into the category that if someone tells me to take a break, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, as if I'm gonna take a break. But trust me, dealing with the problem as soon as possible is a lot easier than having to go through the comeback journey. I know it's a mental challenge, and I know you don't want to take a break, but if this relates to you, see this as your sign, and just, it's not worth the injury in the long run. The reason I'm even saying all of this is that that is my reason for why this Ironman 70.3 means so much to me. I have been patiently waiting, and finally it is my turn to be an athlete myself. As much as cheering and supporting is equally as needed in every single sport, I just cannot wait, and I can't even tell you how excited I am to be standing soon at that start line myself and to push through to enter the finish line. I'm so incredibly excited for it. I cannot wait. Throughout my whole training progress, I'm going to be as transparent as possible. I'm going to show my highs and lows. I'm going to talk about my feelings, if I feel any injuries, how I'm going to deal with that. All of it is going to be packed into the next few weeks to follow, and I hope with this I can help injured runners coming back from injuries or going through injuries to feel their best, and obviously to know that they are not alone in this. It's time to build my training plan, and I'm super stoked for it. I'm using a training app called Believer, and it's the first time I'm using it. It hasn't even launched yet, and that's a quick side note because my brother Nick actually has created this app. I'm super proud of him, our whole family is, and now all of us, me and everyone else competing in our group for the Mallorca Ironman, we're all going to train with it, and we're super excited, and I just want to take you along on my journey. So right now we're going to kind of get into the app and just create the training plan, and then throughout my whole training plan I'm going to take you along and take you week by week, step by step into what I do, how I train. This is also obviously my first triathlon, so I don't really know how my training is going to feel like. I don't know I don't have any expectations basically, but I thought it would be fun to take you along, and I want everyone to know about this app, because from what I've seen and from the effort I've seen my brother put in, my brother has really deserved it. He's worked super incredibly hard on this app. So let's get into creating my plan. That's already so cool. So my brother basically has been making this app for the last few months, and every now and then he'll give me, my family, an update, and we'll send him feedback and just things that we feel like we would want in a training plan app, and he can like change it like that. It's so incredible, and that is just awesome. Like seeing the app pop up on the screen like that is so cool. Okay, so welcome to the club, Laura, you're in. Let's build your training around your life. Let's get started. Okay, birthday, female, metric. So quick side note, I've gone through all of this with my brother already, just so that you know how he envisioned the app being used. So I'm just going to go through this quickly, and then we'll have a look at what the plan creates. So the reason I'm skipping the paces is because I don't necessarily know exactly what my paces are, and I kind of want the app to figure it out for me and then to adapt to that. So that's why I'm skipping it all. And I might know it for running, but I definitely don't know it for swimming and cycling. So I'm just gonna skip through them and let it figure it out throughout my training. Ironman 70.3 Mallorca. It is a middle distance. Okay, race date, 9th of May. Ooh. This is the other point. I have a goal to just absolutely smash the race. I'm so motivated and I want to do my absolute best, but because I've never done a triathlon before, I have no idea what like a realistic time is. So I'm not sure if I want to have a target time like that I just think of, because I don't know how realistic that is. So I think I'm just going to say I want to finish strong, but with all of these things you can change them all later, so that's no problem. Why am I doing this? I definitely want to challenge myself. I want to experience new adventures. I do want to get in the best shape of my life. And I also want to train with friends and family. How many days per week do you want to train? So because I have the whole month off to literally focus just on training, I am going to do 6 days a week, because I don't want to do 7 because I obviously want to give my body the rest it needs too. So I feel like 6 is a very demanding but capable thing for me to achieve. So this is also awesome. You can literally decide on which days it works best for you to train what. So my race is on a Saturday, so I don't want my rest day to be a Saturday. I'm gonna train my brain to remember that Sunday is my rest day, the day after the event. So I'm just gonna basically say that I can train everything on all the days apart from Sunday. Preferred long session day. So I'm gonna say Saturday, so I'll just have my long days the day of the event. Okay, I really do want to be challenging myself as much as I can, but I'm also coming from an injury and I don't want to absolutely exhaust my body, so I'm just going to stay with normal, and then we'll see what the app does, and I can always add my own training if I feel like I want to do more. Build power and prevent injuries with targeted strength work. That sounds amazing. Definitely doing that. And I will do 2. And I also have a gym. Recovery and wellness. Yes, mobility and core sounds awesome. Sleep check-ins, that's cool. Injury alerts. Hormonal intelligence. Wow, coming soon features. That's so cool. All of these are awesome. Okay, connect my devices. Now this is a really cool feature because this allows your workouts from the app to be delivered to your watch. So I have a Garmin watch, which means I can just send my workouts straight through and I can track them and have all the data that Garmin collects and have them in my Believer app. Okay, perfect. So Garmin is connected. Let's continue. Receive notifications. Absolutely. I want all of the motivation I can get, all of the infos I need for my race. Your plan, your goals. Let's go. Awesome! Review the details below. You can edit anything before we create your plan. Okay, so all of my information seems to be great. Let's build my plan. Respecting availability, setting pace and heart rate, building sustainable progression. Woo! Your plan is ready! Okay, this is awesome. One thing I already love about this app is that it's so simple. I know exactly where to go to find stuff, and it gives me a clear outline on everything I need to know. It has my race name, it's telling me I have a 10-week plan, my race date, my plan structure, I can show my details, and it shows me exactly how it's going to train me. I have my base, which is 4 weeks, then I build for 3 weeks, my peak is for 1 week, and then I taper down until the event for 2 weeks. My training load is also all ready to see. I can see exactly how many hours in the week that I'm going to be working. Everything's consistent throughout the app. I can see my plan structure works with my training load, and let's continue. So now it's also giving me information on how I'm going to train and what the training actually does for me. So someone who's an absolute beginner to training in general, not just triathlon like me, this is really good to see because it kind of just gives me the information, like the keywords that the app is going to be using throughout my training, and I can just see exactly what everything means. It tells me what it's for, how it feels, and how often it's going to appear.
Once you've registered in the app, this is what you'll see. You have your whole training plan, your homepage, your coach, your plan, your insights, and all your other details. Each workout is simply broken down into steps. You have your whole workout, you have personalized targets, a nutrition guide, and coach notes.
You can use code Laura and Nick. What do they get with that?
You get a 14-day free trial and 20% off your first year.
So join the team and become a Believer athlete.
Look, everyone has their own journey, and I want to share mine leading towards my race. I hope to inspire young girls and boys to push their limits and find comfort in the uncomfortable. I want to create a space for athletes to feel heard and supported during all phases of training, and I plan to share my experience with the world. My learnings, my tricks, my mindset. This kind of sounds like I'm an elite athlete, which, disclaimer, I'm definitely not, but I'm just trying my best and giving it my all. Stay tuned and follow along for the ride.